Sai Ram class, how are you all? Before starting today's class, I want to say that you all deserve applause for keep in touch with your learning. So class, with the same hope, let's start our today's class as we were in our chapter 2 fraction and decimal, and we had learned about the division and multiplication of fractions. Let's revise first that whatever we had learned in our previous classes. So we know that there are basically three types of fraction. The first one is proper fraction, in which numerator is smaller than denominator. Whereas in second type of fraction, which is improper fraction, denominator is smaller than numerator. And the third type of fraction, which is mixed fraction, is a kind of improper fraction. Means we can convert an improper fraction in the form of mixed fraction, and we can convert mixed fraction in the form of improper fraction. So here you can see that 7 by 4 is an improper fraction and we convert it in the mixed fraction form. Now, division of fraction. We know that what is division and what is fraction, but how we can solve division for fractions? For that we have to know that what is reciprocal. Now, the non-zero number whose product with each other gives 1, they are called reciprocal to each other. For example, 5 by 9 and 9 by 5 are the reciprocal for each other. Now, what is the use of reciprocal in division of fraction or in fraction? Let's try to understand this. For dividing a fraction by another fraction, we have to convert or replace the division sign with multiplication, and in the same step we have to write the divisor fraction in its reciprocal form to solve the division between two fractions. That means we can say that to divide a fraction with another fraction, we have to multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of second fraction. The first fraction by the reciprocal of second fraction. Now, how we can divide a fraction by a whole number? For this, we just have to convert the whole number as fraction by putting 1 in its denominator. Now it becomes same as the division between two fractions. For this we have to divide the fraction by a whole number. We have to multiply the fraction with the reciprocal of whole number. Here you can see this is the fraction form of whole number and we converted it in its reciprocal form to solve with the other fraction. Similarly, to divide a whole number by a fraction, we have to convert the whole number as fraction by putting 1 in its denominator, and then we have to reciprocate the fraction to solve both of them. That means to divide a whole number by any fraction, we have to multiply the whole number by the reciprocal of that fraction. Next, we learned about multiplication of fraction. Here, first is multiplication of a fraction by a whole number. So, it is very simple that numerator will multiply with whole number and denominator will take as the common denominator for that multiplication. Thus, To multiply a whole number with a proper or improper fraction, we multiply the whole number with the denominator and keeping the denominator same. Now, the one thing which is important in multiplication of fraction is the word of. We have to know that what is of represent. So, of represents multiplication. Wherever you can see of in between two numbers, that means of could be replaced with the sign of multiplication. For example, half of 16. That means we have to multiply half with 16 to get our answer. Now, how we can multiply a fraction by another fraction? For this, very simple, we just have to multiply numerator with numerator and denominator with denominator. You can easily see here, we multiplied 1 by 9 and 2 by 4 to get our answer. Same for the mixed fraction case. First we have to convert the mixed fraction into its improper fraction form. Then it will become the multiplication in between two fractions. Now there is 3 value of products. That means when we multiplied two proper fraction, the answer is always smaller than each of the two fraction. Whereas when we multiply two improper fraction, the answer will always more than each of the two fraction. Now what will happen if we multiply one improper fraction with a proper fraction? Then in that case, the answer is less than improper fraction but greater than proper fraction. Now this all is the revision for our previous classes. Now today we will gonna learn about decimal numbers. You all know about decimal point and decimal numbers. Let's check and have a deep study about decimal numbers. Here you can see that there is a place value chart. Once we all know that the first number just before the decimal is our ones place. Then we will have tens and then we will have 100. And then 1000, 10,000 and so on. But what we call that numbers which were come before decimal, means not before, after decimal. So let's check what these digits call. So after ones we have decimal, and after decimal the very first digit is called, or very first place called, tenths. Tenths means 1 upon 10. As we know that for tens it is 10, means if there is a number 40 or 46, so we can say that the place value of 4 is 40. But for a number after decimal, the place value called tenths, means 1 upon 10. If, for example, in 1.56, the place value of 5 is called 5 upon 10. Means 5 multiply with 1 upon 10. Similarly, the next number or place value after tenths is known as hundredths. Means 1 upon 100. After that we have thousands, means 1 upon 1000. Let's see what they all are. To compare a decimal number, we first compare the digit on the left of the decimal number, means decimal point. For example, in 15.5, for comparing it with 15.75, we first see the numbers on the left side of decimal. If the digits on the left side of decimal is equal or same, then we have to see the numbers or digits on the right side of decimal to compare in between decimal numbers. Here we can see that 5 is smaller than 7. That means this number is greater than this number. You can see it in this example, 15.50 and 15.75. Here both have digit 1 and 5 on the left side of decimal. So then we compare the digits on the right side of decimal point, starting from the leftmost. So we can easily see that 5 is smaller than 7. That means we can say that 15.50 is smaller than 15.70 or 75. Let's try to understand with a chart. Here you can see that there are digits given for various place value. For example, in first, 2 is for hundreds place value, 5 is for tens, means we can write it as, and then 3 for ones. It is 253. Now then it comes tenths, means we have to put decimal, and then after decimal we have 1, then 4, and then 7. Here you can easily understand with the help of lots of numbers. Now according to this number, what should become here? So we can easily see that it is 514.251. That means in hundreds place 5 will come in this blank. Okay class? Now let's start our exercise on the basis of decimal numbers. In first question, we have to compare that in given pair of numbers which is greater. So let's try to solve it. Here you can see that in first part we have 0.5 and 0.05 to compare. So now as we know that for comparing decimal numbers, first we have to see numbers on the left side of decimal. So in both the cases, on the left side of decimal we have 0. That means we have to see on the right side of decimal for comparison from leftmost side. So after decimal, the leftmost digit in 0.5 is 5 and in 0.05 is 0. So we can say that as in tenths place 0.5 have 5 and 0.05 have 0. Now we know that 5 is greater than 0, so we can say that 0.5 is greater than 0.05. Let's check another example. Here we have 0.8 and 0.88 to compare. So it is also the same case that on the left side of decimal we have 0 in both the decimal numbers. So we have to compare according to its tenths place. Now we can see that both have 8 in its tens place. So we cannot compare on the basis of tens place also. Now let's check for hundredths place. We know in 0.80 we can write 0.8 as 0.80. So in 0.80 we have 0 in its hundredths place, and in 0.88 we have 8 in its hundredths place, and we know that 8 is greater than 0, so we can say that 0.88 is greater than 0.80 or 0.8. Now let's see what is the second question of exercise 2.5. Second question is we have to express the given paisa and rupee, whatever, means in some part it is paisa only and in some part it is rupees and paisa both. So we have to convert and express it as rupee only. So let's check for the conversion. Here in first part we have to express 7 paisa as rupee. We know that 1 rupee have 100 paisa, so we have to divide 7 by 100 to convert it into rupees. So when we divided 7 with 100, we get answer 0.07, means it is the expression in rupees in decimal form. Now let's check for those part in which rupee and paisa both given. So here you can see that we have to express 7 rupees 7 paisa in paise only. So in rupees only. So 7 rupees is already in rupees, so we do not have to touch it. Now just convert 7 paisa into rupees, and then after conversion 7 paisa into rupees we will add it with 7 rupee. So for converting 7 paisa into rupees we have to divide 7 with 100, and after converting 7 paisa into rupee we have 0.07 paise. 0.07 rupees, sorry. Now we can see that we have 7 rupees and 0.07 rupees. So we have to add them to get the total rupees. That means 7.07 rupees is our answer. Now let's check how we convert 335 paisa into rupees. So we know that to converting a paisa into rupees we have to divide it with 100. So when we divide 335 with 100 we get our answer 2.35 rupees. After second question, here we have lots of part in first and second question. The other parts are for your practice. Now let's check what will be in there in third question. So in third question we have to express given unit, for example 5 centimeter into meter and kilometer. Similarly in second part we have to convert 35 millimeter into centimeter, meter and kilometer. So let's check for its solution. Here how we can express 5 centimeter in meters. So we know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. So here we have to convert a small unit into big unit. So we have to divide, and to convert 5 centimeter into meter we have to divide 5 with 100 to get our answer. Similarly, for expressing 5 centimeter into kilometer. Now we should know that what is the difference in between kilometer and centimeter. So we know that 1 kilometer is equals to this much centimeter, which is 1 lakh centimeter. Now how we can convert a 5 centimeter into kilometer? So for this we have to divide 5 centimeter means 5 with 1 lakh. So after dividing we get answer this. That means 5 centimeter is equal to 0.00005 kilometer. Now for converting 35 millimeter into centimeter, we know that 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. So we just have to divide 35 with 10 to get our answer in centimeter. Now when we have to convert millimeter into meter, for this we know that 1 meter is equal to 1000 millimeter. So to convert 35 millimeter into meter, we have to divide 35 with 1000, and after dividing we get answer 0.035. We know that how we can easily divide any number with 1 and 0 digit. That means here if we have to divide 35 with 1000, we just have to shift the decimal to the left side. In 35 we know that there is a decimal after 5. So to remove 0 from the denominator, we have to shift the decimal to the left side by 3 digit. In this way we get our answer 0.035 meter. Now to convert 35 millimeter into kilometer. For this we should know that what is the difference in between 1 kilometer and millimeter. Here we know that 1 kilometer is equals to 10 lakh millimeter. So we have to divide 35 with 10 lakh to get our answer. When we divide 35 with 10 lakh, we get answer 0.000035 kilometer. For this we should know the unit table, conversion metric table, in which kilometer and centimeter and meter is given with according to their level. Means first we know that the is come kilometer, then we have hectometer, then we have decameter, then we have main unit, that means meter. After that we have decimeter, then we have centimeter, and then we have the smallest, which is millimeter. Now let's move on to next question. Question number 4. In this we have to convert the given weight into kilogram. So here we can see that how we can convert the 200 gram into kilogram. For this we should know that how much gram in 1 kilogram. So we know that 1 kilogram is equals to 1000 gram. So for converting 200 gram into kilogram, we have to divide 200 with 1000, and we get our answer 0.2 kilogram. Now in this case we have 4 kg and 8 gram. So 4 kg is already in kg, so we do not have to touch it. After converting 8 gram into kilogram, we will add that conversion with 4 kg to get our answer. Now to convert 8 gram into kilogram, we have to divide it with 1000, and we get answer 0.008 kilogram. And then we add 4 kg with 0.008 gram to get our answer 4.008 gram. Now in second or next question, in question number 5, you have to write the decimal number in expanded form. So let's see how we can write any decimal number in its expanded form. So we know that how we can expand a number without decimal means before or in the left part of the decimal. Let's see how we can expand digits from the right side of the decimal point also. So here you can see that to expand 20.03, we know that 2 is in tens place, so for this we multiply it with 10. 0 is in ones place, then for this we multiply it with 1. Now that 0 which is after decimal is in tenths place, so we know that tenths place means the multiplication with 1 upon 10. And then 3 is in hundredths place. For this we multiply 3 with 1 upon 100. Now let's see for fourth part. Here we have 2.034. So we know that 2 is in ones place. So for this we multiply 2 with 1. Now after decimal we have 0 which is in tens place. So for this we multiply 0 with 1 upon 10. Then 3 is in hundredths place. So it will be multiplied with 1 upon 100. And 4 is in thousandths place. For this it will multiply with 1 upon 1000. And you can easily see the other parts also here to understand this concept easily. Now in sixth question, we have to write the place value of 2 in each of the given decimal number. So here we can see that in first part 2 is in ones place. In second part 2 is in tens place, so it will be become 20. In third part 2 is in tenth place, so it will become 2 upon 10. In next part it is in hundredths place, so 2 upon 100. Whereas in fifth part it is in thousands place, so it will become 2 upon 1000. Now let's see question number 7. Here you can easily see there is a figure related to that question. They are saying that Dinesh went from A to B and from B goes to C. Now the distance between AB and BC is given, which is A is 7.5 km from B and B is 12.7 km. So you can see in solution that Dinesh goes from A to B, which is 7.5 km away, then B to C, which is 12.7 km away. So that means Dinesh traveled total how much kilometer? For this we have to add both the distance. So we get answer 20.2 kilometer. Now further question is Ayub went from place A to D and then to C. So the distance from A to D is given, which is 9.3, and then distance from D to C is given, which is 11.8. That means Ayub traveled total 21.1 kilometer. Now the further question is who traveled more and by how much? So we can easily see that the distance traveled by Ayub is greater than distance traveled by Dinesh. So we can say that Ayub traveled more, and by how much? For this, we have to subtract both the decimals. So after subtraction, we get to know that Ayub traveled 0.9 kilometer more than Dinesh. Now, on the other parts of the exercise, they both are your practice question. In this, the 8th question is Shama brought 5 kg 300 gram apple and 3 kg 250 gram mangoes. Whereas Sarla brought 4 kg 800 gram oranges and 4 kg 150 gram bananas. So we have to answer who brought more fruit. For this, we just have to add both the weight of both fruits brought by Shama, and for Sarla we have to add the weight of both the fruits brought by Sarla. Then we get to know that who brought more fruit. Similarly, 9th question is how much less is 28 than 46.6 kilometer. Means they are asking that what is the difference in between 42.6 kilometer and 28 kilometer. For this, we have to subtract both the numbers. Now let's move on to another part of today's class, which is multiplication of decimal numbers. For now, we have learned what is decimal number and how we can solve different questions related to decimal number. Now we get to know that how we can multiply decimal numbers. So, for multiplication of decimal number with whole number, here you can see how we can multiply a decimal number with a whole number. We just have to multiply both the number as whole number, and then we have to place decimal according to the total number of digit after decimal in both the numbers. So we can see that here we have only one digit after decimal, and here we have no digit after decimal. That means total one digit. So for this we have to place decimal just after one digit from the rightmost side. Similarly, for multiplying two decimal number, we first multiply them as whole number, then we count the number of digit after decimal both the decimal numbers. So here we can see that here we have two numbers after decimal, and in this we have one number after decimal. Total we have three numbers after decimal. Then we count number from the rightmost side. So we have to shift the decimal after 3 number, because we have total 3 digits after decimal in the decimal which we are multiplying. So our answer is 12.780, means decimal will place after 3 digit from the rightmost side. So we can say that first we multiply decimal number as whole number, ignoring the decimal point. Then add the number of digits to the right of the decimal point in decimal numbers, and then count the same number of digits from the rightmost in answer, and then put the decimal point there. Okay class, just recall it again. Mean, for multiplying decimal number, first we multiply them as whole number, ignoring the decimal part. Then add the number of digits to the right of the decimal number to the right of the decimal point in decimal number. After adding the digits For example, in this part we get to know that there is total 2 plus 1 means 3 digit on the right side of decimal. After counting them, we count the same number of digits from the rightmost in the answer and then put the decimal part there. As we did here, we put the decimal part after 3 digit counting from the rightmost side. Now, how we can multiply decimal number by 10, 100 and 1000. For this you can see three different multiplication, first with 10, then with 100 and 1000. So for multiplying with any decimal number with 10, first we have to replace the decimal and make that decimal digit as a whole number. Here, for converting 2.3 as whole number, we shift the decimal part to the right side and place a 10 in its denominator. Why 10? Because there is only one number by which we have to shift the decimal part. That is why here we have 10. If we have two digits by which we have to shift the decimal number, then we have to put 100. And if we have 3 digits by which we have to shift the decimal number to the side, in that case we have to put 1000. Means how many numbers by which we have to shift the decimal point, that much 0 with 1 will place in their denominator. Now here, after removing or shifting the decimal point, we have 22 upon 10 multiply with 10. So 10 and 10 could be cancel out or divide by each other, then we get our answer 23. Similarly, if we have to do same multiplication with 100, so we know that 1 10 divide 100, 10 multiply 1 and 10 multiply 10 will get 10 and 100. So here we have 23 into 10 and after their multiplication we have answer 230. Now if we have to do the multiplication with 1000, so it will be easy that they both will divide by 10 and get answer 1 and 100. Now we have 23 into 100 to multiply and we have answered 2300. That means we can say that when a decimal number is multiplied by 10, 100 or 1000, the digits in the product are same as in the decimal number, but the decimal point in the product is shifted to the right by as many of places as there are 0 over 1. 0 over 1 means 0 with 1. For example, in 1000 we have 3 0 with 1. So decimal will shift to the 3 places to this side. For example, here we have 1 0 with 1. So decimal shifted only one digit. And similarly, here we have 2 0 with 1. So decimal shifted by 2 digit. Now after this, let's have a look on exercise 2.6. Here we discuss only first, third and fifth part, which is the simple multiplication between digits, and second and fourth will be discussed in next class. So for first part, how we can multiply a decimal with whole number. We know that to multiply a decimal with whole number, first we multiply them as simple whole number, then we place decimal according to the number of digits after decimal in both the numbers, and then place the decimal in the answer by the same number of digit. Here you can see how we can simply multiply. To multiply 211.02 with 4, we first shift the digit to the rightmost side and place 100 in denominator. Then we have the two number as a whole number. After multiplying both as whole number, we get answer this. Now we have 100 in its denominator. So to remove that 100, we have to shift the decimal 2 number to the left side. Similarly, you can see in this, first we multiply 2 and 6 as whole number and we get 12 as answer. Now we know that we have 10 in its denominator, so we have to shift the decimal towards the left side to remove that 10 from its denominator, and we get our answer 0.2. Now to multiply with 10, 100 and 1000, we just have a look that how we can multiply a decimal number with 10, 100 and 1000. So for this, first we have to remove or shift the decimal to the right side, and then we multiply them as whole number. Then we have to put the decimal according to the denominator, or we know that decimal will shift by the same number of digit as many 0 we have with 1. For example, in this part we have 2 0 with 1, so our decimal will shift 2 number to the right side, so we have our answer 15610. You can see in other examples also. Here we have only 1 0 with 1, so decimal will shift only one digit. So here we have 0.08, so decimal will shift only one digit towards right side, so we have answer 0.8. Now how we can multiply two decimal numbers? For this, first we have to multiply them as whole number, then we have to place the decimal point according to the number of zeros in their denominator. Means, for example, to multiply 1.07 with 0.02, first we have to multiply them as whole number. So they will become 107 and 2. Now, to make them whole number, we have to shift that digit to the right side and we get 20 in its denominator. Similarly, for the same with 0.02, we get 100 in its denominator. Now we have 107 and 2 as whole number, so we multiply them as whole number first. Now we have the 10,000 in its denominator, so the decimal point will shift 4 digit toward left. For example, here we have decimal here, and then it will shift toward the left by 4 digit. So we have to put 0 here and decimal will be here. So our answer is 0.0214. Class, this is it for today's class, and we have few questions for your practice. Keep practice and go through the video again and again to understand concept more clearly. It is paise, it is typing mistake, it is paise, okay, not pause. You have to express 679 paisa into rupees. It is not pause, it is paisa.